Reduced eyesight can have major long-lasting effects on all aspects of life, as the eye is the light of the body. An estimated 1 billion people around the world have a preventable vision impairment that is yet to be addressed. Today is World Sight Day, and it aims to raise awareness about ways to improve eyesight and eye health. This year's theme, Help in Sight, focuses on the importance of making global eye health a priority. Joining me is a member of the Nigerian Medical Association and consultant ophthalmologist, Dr. Banke Ilu, in the studio. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
All right, so according to the World Health Organization, 1 billion people around the world have a preventable vision impairment, or one that has yet to be addressed.
Yes.
How important is it for us to take care of our sight?
Well, so you see, the thing about our sight is a lot of people, the eyes, we use our eyes to see, right? And a lot of people take the sight for granted. Now, on this particular day where we, as eye care professionals, celebrate the World Sight Day, and the World Sight Day is a very important event in the eye health calendar, where eye care professionals increase public awareness and also with the aim of reducing the burden of avoidable blindness worldwide. All right,
so in all of this now,
so,
yes.
Okay. Sorry. So it's a global initiative which is done everywhere in the world, and it started back to 1990, 20 years ago, and initiated by the International Agency for Prevention of Blindness in conjunction with the Ophthalmological Society of Nigeria. And the aim is to increase awareness so that more people, so that everyone everywhere has access to eye care. And if this is successful, if we're successful at increasing access to eye care, then the burden of blindness, avoidable blindness, will be reduced.
Do we actually have access to eye care?
Yes. So,
is it cheap?
Yes. So the thing about access to eye care is, the problem is actually awareness. It's not actually the access, if you permit me to say this. Yeah. You talked about the burden of blindness being over 1 billion people worldwide living with visual impairment and blindness, 90% of which are in developing countries like ours. And in Nigeria, there are about 4 million people living with blindness and visual impairment. Sadly enough, 80% of these people are blind from avoidable causes. So what I mean by avoidable is, they're blind from causes that could have been prevented or treated if they had been identified. But
a lot of times, because of the hustle and bustle of daily life, nobody takes time to go to check their eyes, to the optician to check their eyes.
Yeah, so the truth about this is, I started by saying people don't take their eyes, they take their eyes for granted. People check their blood pressure, people check their blood sugar, but because
you check those when there's a problem.
Yes, and not just that they check it when there's a problem, they are conscious of it. But the truth about it is that the thing about sight is people don't know what they can see. They can't see their own eyes, they can't see their, so it's important that we all know that most of the avoidable causes of blindness are asymptomatic. They don't give a sign, so until it's quite advanced. Talk about glaucoma, for example. Glaucoma is a sneak thief of sight. It's the leading cause of irreversible blindness worldwide. And it's a disease that if one had just gone in to have his or her eyes checked with his eye care professional, would have gone through a comprehensive eye test so that they would have been able to identify the problems which would have been there earlier and could have been, arrested instead of progressing on to blindness.
But what you're saying now, a lot of people believe that in a country where they try hard to make a living, to go and check for check for healthcare, quite alright, is quite expensive in this country. How do we ensure that people get access to healthcare and at a lower rates so they can live healthy lives? Okay,
well, one of the ways we can do this is on the individual level. Like a day like today now, lots of clinics and professionals, and in the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, we're screening people. We're doing free eye screening for individuals who walk in. We're also providing glasses because uncorrected refractive errors is a leading cause of visual impairment. And then we're also giving free eye drops. So if more bodies can support us, people, NGOs, non-governmental organizations, if more government policies, if they could create a more enabling environment so that these so-called people who really cannot access or who believe they can't access, eye care or health, could actually be able to tap into this so that they could pay more attention and, live more with their sight.
What are the lifestyle adoption that we use? What are things we do that affect our eyesight, the daily things that causes eyesight problems?
So when we talk about the daily things that we can do is, I would like to start by, I'll say again, not taking your eyes for granted. You need to have a regular eye check. If you put it on your calendar once every year, you have an annual eye check. It's important. You need to see your eye care specialist. It's not just checking your eyes anywhere, but when you see your eye care specialist, he knows what he's looking out for. He knows when everything is fine. Some people assume that, yeah, the eyes are fine. But take it, for example, we went for an eye screening where we had to screen drivers, and there was a particular driver that thought his eyes were fine. But you know, when you're doing an eye test, you have to close one eye. And when we closed one eye, he started shouting because he didn't realize that he wasn't seeing with the other eye. Do you know what I mean? But if he had had an eye test done, you know, would have been able to identify that. So it's very important that people go for a regular eye check. It's very important. The second thing is eating healthy. We need to eat balanced diet, food which is rich in nutrients and vitamins in the right quantity, not more of one or less of the other, but in a balanced quantity. And also drinking lots of water. You know, water is important. Exercise, I cannot overemphasize exercise. It needs to be deliberate and needs to be conscious. And then rest. Everyone has to sleep. Sleep is important because it helps the body heal, it helps the body mend. And, you know, I also want to go on very quickly, please, to protect your eyes. Most people working with powerful tools don't remember to wear their goggles. And, you know, when you're working with powerful tools at home or, you know, at a machine.
This time and age where you have to work with your laptop.
Your laptop, yeah.
Pad, iPad and
so
all that.
when you're on the system, in this COVID period where more people are spending time on their system, we have harmful radiations. If you spend over 3 hours on the system, then you're prone to dry eye syndrome. And this could have been prevented because all you have to do is get the transition anti-reflex lenses, protective lenses from the harmful radiation. You need to make a conscious effort to turn down the light brightness on the screen and the color desaturation, you know, to sit properly and make sure that, you know, you're doing all the right moves while using the system. Now, last but not the least, I would just like to quickly talk about knowing your eye care providers. Now, some people believe that every time they have a red eye, it's Apollo, and then they just go to the roadside, they get they get an eye drop, or some people even do toxic things like put early morning urine in their eyes. You won't believe it. They put breast milk, they put camphor rub, all sorts of funny things, and these things are really bad because we're seeing the harmful effects it has on the eyes. And then the last but not the least thing that I wanted to emphasize is to avoid smoking, because smoking and excessive alcohol has its effects on the eyes. It has a way of damaging and clogging the blood vessels and also has a way of, you know, causing cataract.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Banke Elu, for talking to us.